Emma, a single mother struggling to make ends meet, found herself in a tight spot when her regular babysitter canceled at the last minute. With no other options, she approached a homeless woman named Sarah, who had often sat outside the local cafe. Nervously, Emma explained her situation and asked if Sarah would mind watching her young daughter, Lily, for a few hours. To her surprise, Sarah smiled warmly and agreed. Emma left, hoping for the best but also feeling uneasy. When Emma walked through the door, she saw something that she had never expected. She couldn't believe what she had come home to. What was it that Emma saw when she came home, and why was she so shocked? But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Emma sighed as she looked at her phone. She was just about to leave for work when she saw that Lisa, her babysitter, had canceled their appointment last minute. What was she going to do now? She couldn't take her daughter to work with her. Emma decided to call her boss and explain the situation to him. She quickly called her boss, Mark, and explained what had happened, but unfortunately he was very harsh. "I don't care what you do, just figure it out. I expect to see you here in 30 minutes. She was disappointed, but she was not surprised, but still, she needed to come up with a plan. What was she going to do? She knew that all of her friends were at work right now too, so she couldn't ask them for help. She stared out of the window, trying to think of a plan when something caught her eye. Emma decided that even though the idea sounded completely crazy, she had no other choice. She walked outside and walked toward the local cafe right across from her flat. Through the window, Emma had seen a woman sitting on the pavement next to the cafe. She had spoken to her a few times before, and she knew that her name was Sarah and that she was homeless. Emma had given her some food and money a couple of times, and now she was walking directly toward her. Sarah looked up as Emma approached her, and she smiled. Emma greeted her and carefully explained the situation. She couldn't believe that she was actually going to ask her this question, but she took a deep breath and said, "Would you mind watching Lily for a few hours?" To her surprise, Sarah smiled warmly and nodded. She got up and followed Emma back to her front door. Lily didn't really react when she saw her mom entering their home with this strange woman. She had seen Sarah before, but Emma wasn't sure if she had recognized her. Emma quickly showed Sarah the basic things she might need while watching Lily, like the fridge, the oven, and the TV remote, and then she left in a hurry. She had the feeling that she could trust Sarah because every time they had spoken, she'd been very polite and kind. But still, she felt a bit uneasy about the whole thing. At work, Emma tried to focus on just doing her job, but she had a hard time doing so. Sarah returned to her desk, feeling even more stressed than she was before. What was going on? Why did nobody pick up the phone? Right then, Mark came to her and started complaining about something that wasn't even her responsibility. Emma looked at him, but she wasn't even listening. While he was talking, she suddenly stood up, packed her things, and stormed out of the office. She had enough of it. Emma felt that her daughter's safety was more important than this job. Mark had taken advantage of her for far too long, and now it was time to make it stop. She quickly got in the car and drove home. She grabbed her phone and called the police. Luckily, someone answered her call pretty quickly. Emma explained the situation to the officer on the other side of the phone, hoping that he would be able to help her. But sadly, his reaction was something totally different, and Emma felt hopeless. The officer was not helpful at all. He just scoffed and told Emma that she shouldn't be surprised at what happened, since she literally invited a homeless woman into her home. Emma tried to explain that she had had no other choice, but the officer wouldn't hear it. The officer told her that she needed to wait 24 hours before she could report the child missing anyway. Emma angrily hung up the phone and decided that she was going to take matters into her own hands. If they would not help her, she would find Lily herself. She tried to calm herself down and come up with a plan. Yes, she was terrified that something bad might have happened to her daughter. Emma was going to check the cafe across from her window, where she had often spotted Sarah before. She saw no signs of Sarah or Lily, but she went inside to ask the owner if he had seen them walk by that day. But sadly, he had not seen anything that could help her. She was a bit disappointed, but she was not going to give up just yet. She had only begun searching. The street she lived in was not busy at all, and surely people would have noticed it if a homeless woman had been walking around with a girl. After a while, she had already asked some of the neighbors if they had seen Lily outside, but nobody had seen her. People told her that no, they had not seen her little girl, with a concerned look on their face. Emma felt hopeless and she was about to cry. How could she ever have been so stupid? She was going to knock on a few more doors and then she would take a different approach. But luckily, one of the neighbors had some unexpected news for her. The woman looked at the picture of Lily that Emma showed her on the phone, and then she said something that shocked Emma. "Yes, I have seen that little girl," the woman told her, and Emma breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, someone who could help her. The woman had told Emma that she had seen Lily walking with another woman who perfectly matched Sarah's description. She had thought it was a weird match, such a sweet little girl and the older woman in dirty and ripped clothes. That was why she remembered them. Emma was relieved to hear that Lily had seemed happy, and she also knew where to go looking for her now. The woman had told her that they had gone right around the corner next to her house, so Emma went that same way. She walked. She thought about locations in this direction that Lily liked going to. She would do anything to find her kid. She was getting out of breath, but she only had a few more blocks to go. She was almost there. You see, Emma was headed to the ice cream shop downtown. Lily loved going there, and sometimes the woman who owned the shop even gave her a free cookie. Maybe this is where she and Sarah would be right now. Emma could only hope for it. Minutes later, she was finally there. The plaza in front of the shop was full of people enjoying their ice cream, young and old boys and girls. She quickly skimmed the mass of people, but again she didn't spot Lily or Sarah. Then she headed inside. Emma knew that there was a kid's corner in the back of the ice cream salon, and it was Lily's favorite place to eat her ice cream. She quickly walked over to the corner, and when she got there, she saw something that made her eyes fill with tears. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. There was Lily, finally. She was enjoying a bowl of ice cream, and Sarah sat right next to her. The woman was telling her a story, and Lily was laughing uncontrollably. When Sarah noticed that Emma was standing there and watching them, she waved at her and called her over. Emma finally joined her daughter and Sarah, relieved to see that everything was completely fine. Emma blushed and nodded. From the way they interacted, it was obvious that they had really bonded that day. From that day forward, Emma stayed in touch with Sarah. She was so thankful for the way she had watched Lily that she reached out to local organizations sharing Sarah's story and helping her get back on her feet. Soon, Sarah had her own apartment and a new job. Sarah even encouraged Emma to stand up to her horrible boss, and eventually, she even got a promotion. And Sarah continued to babysit Lily and Sam. Emma and Sarah became lifelong friends. The difficult choice that Emma had made that one day changed her life for the better.